Hey everybody, it's Professor Parish. I hope you've had a great Super Bowl Sunday. I'm going to give you a couple notes housekeeping wise, and then we are going to go over some things for week 5 in our English 109 course. As I'm doing this video, I realize that it's Sunday night. There are several people who haven't turned in assignments, so hopefully you get that done before the deadline. Tonight, I'm in student mode, so we'll just go over here to assignments and check out what is due this week. So for week 5, there are a couple of new things I do want to go over with you all. So first thing is you will notice this submit your draft to the cause and effect paper. I'm going to touch on this very soon. And then this video is actually going to get up before Monday night, so you guys will be able to see it before Monday. I got to it a little bit earlier than I thought I would. And then you'll respond to your drafts. We'll talk about that shortly. The grammar review number 3 and textbook activity number 3 aren't anything new. They're just the third assignment in that slot for that. So if you've been doing the grammar assignment and the textbook assignments, this will not look anything new. It'll be pretty straightforward out of our textbook. If you did not do an outline in the writing prep for this Sunday that I'm recording this video, if you didn't do an outline for this assignment here, you do have until this coming Sunday, February 10th, to submit one. And you can email me those outlines. If you put an outline in your writing prep assignment for week 4, then you're good. Don't worry about this. I've already applied extra credit to your assignment. You're good. But if you didn't, I know there are some students that didn't do the outline, and if you still want the extra credit, you are welcome to do so. So, with that being said, what I want to do with this video is talk about the draft and what we are doing for the discussion forum for week 5. So I'm going to go over here to the discussion forum, go down to week 5. So your cause and effect papers. As I talked last week about it, your cause and effect papers are basically you are picking an item and discussing the cause of that item and what its effects are. So I know that one of the topics that students are doing is smoking. They're doing like, why do people smoke? And then what are the effects of it on your body? That's a great topic. Another student is looking specifically at what causes a certain disorder or disease and the effects of it. That is really good as well. What I don't want, do not make this a compare and contrast. I've had to correct one student already. Compare and contrast is paper number 2. We will get to compare and contrast. Don't worry. We'll get there. This is cause and effect. So if you've not read chapter 10 on cause and effect, you definitely need to go do that. It's not a long chapter. You need to read it. It's in our textbook. But a cause and effect is choosing something, a topic or an idea, talking about what causes that idea and then the effects of it. So you could talk about global warming. What causes it? What are the effects? You could talk about the economy. How has the American economy been funded and caused? And what are the effects of it globally, or blah, blah, blah. Or you can choose something a lot more simpler. What are the causes of, I don't know, there's a lot of different ideas that you can go with. What are the causes of, I'm trying to think of a topic that I've not already said. You all have got some good topics, but as I am doing this video, only a few of you have submitted the writing prep, so I'm trying to go off your all examples, but I have very few. You could do what are the causes of, the decline in education and how we're encouraging people to teach. What are the effects of that? That would be one to do. So you've got a lot of options. I will feel more comfortable talking with you about this assignment when I see what everybody else is doing. But the topics I've seen so far, there was one that was a cause and that was a compare and contrast. I told that student that they need to revamp their idea. Everybody else looks good. So what you're doing for this discussion forum is you are actually going to submit your draft. As an English instructor, I am a firm believer that writing is not a one and done scenario. My least favorite English instructors in college were the ones that were like, you're going to write about pandas. And I was like, I don't want to write about pandas. So I did, because I obviously wanted a good grade. And then when they got my paper graded, that was it. I couldn't do anything with it. And as an English instructor, my thoughts are, well, writing is a continuous process. We are constantly revising, we're constantly changing, we're constantly making ourselves better. So what good is it if we turn in a writing assignment and then we never get to do anything with it? It's just done. That's not, productive. We're supposed to learn from our mistakes. We're supposed to revise and move forward. And when an instructor just gives you a grade and you have to settle for it, for an English class, it kind of seems like it's defeating the purpose. I get it for other classes because writing's not the focus, but we are in an English class and writing is a focus. So I want to give you all a chance to put your writing out there and get peer feedback and get instructor feedback before you submit the quote-unquote final draft. And we'll talk about that as well. But so for this first writing assignment on cause and effect, we are going to do what's called a peer review, which is where you submit a draft or a work in progress version of your paper. Your peers and myself will review it, and then you'll get feedback before you submit the final draft next week. So by this Friday, what you should do is you should open up a discussion post like you have done for the last several weeks, and you will actually attach your paper that you've been working on, presumably been working on, and then what will happen is I will review your paper and so will everyone else. And you'll get feedback, and then next week, in week 6, will be when you get that first writing prep finished. So you'll have time to revise it, to edit it, to change it, to add on to it, and so on and so forth to get it to where you're ready to submit. So this is just like we're workshopping your works in progress draft. Okay? So how you add your draft is you'll go to this add post. You have to do this by Friday, so if you have not started writing your paper yet, you might want to start now. Or at least, work on it till Friday. I've had students ask how long the drafts have to be. My best piece of advice is your drafts should be as long as they can be. Whatever, I know 3 pages is what we're aiming for. You should get as close to that as possible. Because the more content you have, the more content that is for myself and your fellow students to peer review. That's more of an opportunity for you to get feedback on us. If you turned in an introduction paragraph and that was it, well, I'd give your introduction paragraph a really good look, but then you're kind of on your own for the rest of the paper. You won't get any peer feedback, and that's not what I want. So I want you to try to aim as close as you can to that 3-page. Get as close to complete as you can, and that's what we'll look at. Now, if you don't make the full 3 pages, that's going to be okay. Now, if you turn in a paragraph and that's it, I'm going to dock your points because you should have worked more on it than just that. But if you're not right at 3 pages when you submit it for the peer review, am I going to take off points? No, but you should have some substantial text there for us to review, right? So that's what I'm aiming for. So I'm going to go here to add post. It's not going to let me add post. Fine, I'll go back to the instructor view. It won't let me add a post yet because I'm still in student mode. Now I'm in faculty mode and it will. So I'm going to go add post. What I'll do is I will say my cause and effect. Okay. And just type out something simple like this is my cause and effect. Writing assignment so far. Here are my questions. Does the introduction make sense? How should I end? And these are all questions that I would ask as a writer. You all can ask any questions you want. If you don't have any questions, you can say, I don't have any questions, but let me know what you think. Just be honest. Do my transitions work? And that's, just have something generic there. If you've noticed, I like to use exclamation points a lot. I like to emote in my writing. One of my writing teachers in college was like, "You're using too many exclamation points. Stop." And I said, "Okay, I will, but I'm no longer the student, so I can use exclamation points." All right, so if you've not already saved your file onto the online page, which I'm sure most of you have not, you're going to want to click the From My Computer. You can browse and find whatever photo files you want. And then let's just say, I'm just going to pick a random article. Okay. And then you click Add. Okay. So after you click Add, after you've browsed and found the file on your computer and you've clicked Add, you will see this link. This link means that that file is now attached to your discussion forum post. You have to click Add after you click Browse. So after you find the file and press Open to get it to show up, you have to click that Add button. If you don't, it won't save it and it won't attach it. So a lot of students forget to do that. So make sure that you click the Add button to get it like this. Once you see this in the trash can means you can delete the file if you accidentally picked the wrong one. But as long as your file link shows up here, then you can click Submit, and that will post your discussion forum post. I'm going to cancel out of that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how you function that. And then you are in charge of reading at least 2 of your peer drafts and responding to them. And for the responses, you don't have to go into crazy detail, but I do expect you to at least tell your peers, like, hey, I enjoyed this part of your paper, or hey, you could work on this. You know, be respectful, obviously, have constructive criticism, be respectful, but also give them substantial feedback. I think the worst feedback you can give someone is just saying, hey, it looks great. Does it? I know it may, but you know, tell them what looks great about it. Tell them what works, what maybe needs revision. There is nothing wrong with telling someone they need to fix something. Just do it respectfully and be courteous and nice. You know, treat them in your critique as you would like to be treated in your critique, and you should be fine. But I really like the peer review discussion forums because 1, it gives us all a chance to look at each other's work, and 2, it gives you time to get feedback and change your writing before submitting the final draft. So I feel like students walk away feeling like they've had more time and more review and edits to be made to their paper rather than just submitting something raw and hoping that it works. Okay, so we're going to try this out. I think it's going to go over well. I think that from past experience, students really like seeing what others write, and it's inspiring and it motivates, and it's you may learn something you didn't know. Who knows? So, but that is the assignment. Just make sure you have your draft submitted by Friday night and that you've read at least 2 peer posts by Sunday. So that's that discussion forum for this week. And then the grammar textbook assignments are pretty straightforward in the book. As we've been going through the text, there's not really any new reading for this week. It's just doing the textbook activity and the grammar activity. And if you've not read the cause and effect chapter in your book from last week, I would encourage you to please do so that you're not walking into this paper blind. Because it's not a hard paper, but it is a little bit different. I don't think that we do as many cause and effect papers anymore. So that's why I wanted to kind of keep up with this one, because it is something different. But as always, if you have any questions at all, I will be in and out this week because I'm going to a lot of high schools during the day. But I'll check my email at night, and I will be back in my office in the afternoons. So if you have a question, feel free to call, feel free to email, and I will answer it the best I can. All right. I'm extremely excited to see your papers, to see your drafts, to see what they look like, and give you feedback. Remember, you will still have an extra week to work on this paper after this week, so don't freak out. Nothing's due that's final. This is all just a work in progress. Moving forward, my goal as an instructor is to keep you from the 2 a.m. oh crud, I forgot about that deadline, gotta write this paper now syndrome that a lot of students fall into in some of their classes. So that is my goal, is to keep you away from that. And hopefully these drafts will help you to do so. So I hope you guys have a great week. I hope you enjoyed the Super Bowl and had a great weekend. The weather was gorgeous. And as always, feel free to email or call if you have any questions whatsoever. I'll talk to you guys later. I'm excited to read your papers, and I will talk to you all again soon.